and just have some fun tonight. All right, you ready to get this started with your first comedian? This guy, I think of him as a force of nature, and he's just so damn funny. He's one of my really good friends. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Bob Cook.
Daryl Dawson, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for him. All right. Good crowd. You guys drinking tonight? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's why we're out on a Thursday. Why wouldn't you? You ladies drinking? Woo! All right. You ladies drinking like enough that I look attractive yet? You're just taking it easy. That's when you cut them off. And they're like, I'd like to have sex with a fat guy. Get the cab. She's hammered. She's loaded. That's why I got into comedy, man. They give us free booze. Did you know that? I didn't realize I had a job for 2 years. I was blacked out, you know. Where these checks keep coming from. I've been partying like Lindsay Lohan. I don't care. So I think Lindsay Lohan gets a bum rap in life, man, because everyone's always like, ooh, look at Lindsay Lohan. She's just a washed up, drunken, fat skank. And I'm like, well, so am I, but no one's giving me crap about it, right? Like, I only slowed down because I ran out of money and friends. If I had Lindsay's looks and resources, I'm sure it'd be a lot harder to board the old wagon. No one's ever looking across the bar at me going, ooh, there goes Bob. Maybe if I buy him a beer and shoot him some coke, I could convince him to have sex with me. No. They're all like, don't make eye contact with Bob. He'll tackle hump you in the alley. Now, Will, watch your back. I saw a documentary on TV recently, kids. It said 70% of all Americans, 70% of us will at some point in our lives experience an accident that is purely related to alcohol. And I said, that's bull crap. And then I looked down and realized I had just peed in my pants. And I was like, touche, Discovery Channel. I drank so much recently that I blacked out, which sucks. Because when you black out, you have to have all the people you were hanging out with tell you about all the stuff that you did while you were blacked out. And they ain't never like you did cool stuff, neither. You know? It's never like you go, what happened last night, and your buddy's got heroic stuff. Oh, man, you saved an old lady from a fire. Yeah, it was awesome. No. So I was like, dude, what happened last night? He's like, oh, man, you set an old lady on fire. It was awesome. That's why from now on, whenever I black out, I just pretend like I'm in my own personal episode of CSI. Try to put back together the pieces. I'm like, apparently there was a struggle at the door where I lost a shoe and ate a box of Oreos. Looks like an inside job. I hope they catch that jerk. He's gotten away with it for too long. You ever do this one? You ever be hanging out with your friends, right? And then you pass out first, and then your friends do really horrible, awful stuff to your lifeless corpse. It happened to me once. I was at a party. I had too much fun. I passed out first. I wake up the next day. I'm walking out in the living room. Everyone's pointing at me and laughing. So I'm like, okay, what? And the guy goes, go look in the mirror, man. So I go and I look, and someone had drawn a huge penis on my face. Yeah, I know, right? I tried to play it off, man. I was like, big deal. People do stuff like that all the time. My buddy goes, yeah, but that one's mine. I traced it. Yeah. I know. I hear you. And I was like, touche, Discovery Channel. You win again, you old such and such. I used to have a real job, which I should try to get back when I leave here tonight. I worked in an office. They put a lost and found up next to my desk. And the interesting phenomenon about a lost and found is the first thing you do whenever someone puts one up right up next to your desk is, regardless of whether or not you've actually lost anything, is you rummage through it in case there's cool stuff inside, right? So I'm rifling through the lost and found. I found an old Tupperware container that still had a partially eaten sandwich inside of it. Yeah, gross. I was looking at the boss. I'm like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. You've got a sandwich in the lost and found. And he goes, yeah, why? Did you lose one? I was like, do I look like the kind of guy that has ever misplaced his sandwich? Let me know when you find a pair of running shoes. Or an elliptical machine. How big's the box? I ripped the complete backside out of my pants on the way to the show, which was humiliating. And so I had to pull over. It was like go time because I had to be here in like a half hour, right? And so I just ran over to the Walmart right on Morse Road, and I'm like nervous, and I'm holding the back of my pants together, and I'm like running up to just the first employee I can find. And it's this lady. I'm like, just quickly, could you tell me where to find the pants? And she got all snotty. She was like, you mean the fashion department? Like, it's Walmart. I didn't know you had a fashion department. Yes, and while you're at it, could you show me to the top hats and monocles? I have a dinner engagement to attend. Like, when did Walmart become fashionable, man? Just because you have a building that happens to have clothes inside of it doesn't mean you have a fashion department. Saying Walmart has a fashion department is like saying the welfare department has a credit union, you know? It's like, not the same. I'm trying to leave, you know, and get dressed and decent. And I get stopped by one of those little branch banks. Remember, like, back when bank accounts used to be free? Or, I'm sorry, you used to have to charge for them. And then when they became free, now they'll just hold you at knife point to force you to take one. This guy tries to stop me, and I'm in stride. I'm like, I got to go. And he's trying to get me to bank with him. And I'm trying to say in the most polite way possible that I don't want to be the guy that does his banking at Walmart, you know? But he pulls out a list of rebuttals that was ridiculous. He was like, is another bank going to treat you with the same type of customer service? It was like, I would assume so, yes. Like, apparently the people at Walmart think all the other banks see me. They're like, here's your money, fat boy. Bang! Throw it in my face. But the irony is I actually do need a checking account. I was just in a hurry. But I destroyed my checking account when I got caught in a tailspin of overdraft fees. I overdrafted like by $2 and woke up $600 later going, what the hell was that all about? Like, it's a pricey bag of Skittles, you know? I got a call from the angry bill collector. He's like, you need to pay the balance in full today. Like, if I could pay for stuff when I wanted to buy it, I wouldn't be writing checks for Skittles, stupid. And he goes to the threat mode. He's like, well, if you don't, we're going to put it on your credit. And I'm like, that's perfect. Just put her on the tab. That sounds good. Like, they already got bad credit, you know? You can't threaten a guy with a worst-case scenario that he's already actively experiencing. It's like you coming up to me like, hey, Bob, if you keep overeating and drinking all the time, you're going to wind up fat and unattractive. I'm like, thanks, I'll keep my head up for that. Appreciate it. So I don't have any money now. I just stay home, play on the computer. But even that's going too far, man. Technology's out of hand. You know, like I knew technology was going too far when I started getting the spam. You guys know what I'm talking about? You get the same spam where you open it up and it goes, double the size of your penis in just 1 week. That's ridiculous. What am I supposed to do with 4 inches of penis? That doesn't even... I'm not looking to hurt anyone, Funny Bone. Just out to have a good time. But it's all right because I'm married, so I don't have to use it anyway. Yeah. People always want to give you advice about your marriage, but it's always bad advice. There's only one good bit of sexual advice out there, and you guys have heard it too. You know the one where they go, ooh, you always have the best sex right after a big fight. You know that one? That one's actually true because one time I knocked my wife out and she let me do whatever I wanted. It was 4 inches of thunder that night, friend. We're not, like, all the romance is gone. I don't know how long you guys have been married, but 9 years, we just don't even talk to each other. We're like coworkers at this point, you know. We don't have those little cute romantic moments that we used to have. Like, you know, the famous scene from Lady and the Tramp where they, like, bump the nose. Like, the closest I get to that is when we slap wrists, reaching in the same potato chip bag at the same time. Like she doesn't even like me, you know, as a person anymore. Like, the other day, she called me white trash because I like drinking wine from the box. I know, right? When she said that, I was so mad that I spilled my pork rinds all over my Toby Keith poster. I was like, oh. It sucked for me, man, because she used to be a wild woman in bed. She used to scream during sex. You ever get that? My wife would be like, "Someone help!" And I was like, "Hell yeah." She's into it. I don't blame her, kids, because look at me. I'm in horrible shape. I tried that Slim Fast diet for her, and it backfired horribly. Because I didn't realize you're supposed to drink the shake instead of eating the meal. I would have like 2 Big Macs and wash it down with 4 shakes. I gained 40 pounds in a week. The worst part is I thought it was working. Because my buddy came up to me and goes, "Dude, I could see your ribs." But it turns out he was talking about the barbecue sauce on my face. My wife always gets mad at me about that because I'll get like all hammered and then I'll like binge eat all the stuff in the house, and then she'll go to eat something and realize it's not there anymore, you know. The other day she confronted me on it. She's like, "Did you seriously eat 3 boxes of Thin Mints all by yourself?" And I panicked. I didn't know what to say. I was like, "You got to support the troops, you know." I'm a patriot. So I got a 1-year-old daughter now. That's exciting, huh? Thanks. Thank you. I love making them. My daughter's at that age, I'm sure you guys have been through this, where she needs help being fed, and I'm trying to feed my daughter, and it's so nerve-wracking. You've been there. She's pulling the move on me, like where every time I get the spoon close to her face, she's pulling like that move. You know what I'm talking about? We're like every time, which is ironic because that's what my wife does when I'm like, "No, help, someone." That's what we call a recovery in the business. So she sees I'm getting upset, so she takes the spoon away from me, kids, and she says, "Calm down, honey, calm down." And she makes an airplane noise, Funny Bone, and then boom, right down the hatch. Have you guys heard of that? The plane noise, the train noise, where you're feeding kids? Of course you have. It's universal. They do it everywhere. It makes you think that somewhere deep out in Amish country, people are feeding their kids going, "Open up, Isaac." That's it for me, kids. Thanks for your ear. Daryl Dolphin.